Hello everybody, Flik here and welcome to a sort of one-off video. I might do another one around something else, but my mother's cleaning out the family home where I grew up and was kind of asking me, hey, I found so-and-so that used to be yours when you were a kid. I found so-and-so. Can I just chuck them? Can I send them to a charity shop? There was a massive box of Pokemon memorabilia, which I haven't got yet because it's way too heavy, so I'm going to need to go and like help carry it and transfer it and whatnot. But there was also a box of old games from my childhood, the 90s, the early 2000s, and I was like, I want those. I must have them. Also, if I sound echoey, it's because I'm having to record this at my kitchen table due to having the 40k table set up in my office right now, so I have no room to do any other kind of, not unboxings, but you know what I mean. So I thought it'd be fun to look through an old collection of games I had from when I was a kid. I don't entirely know every single thing that's in here, but to start with, here's a PS1 PAL region, which is EU, game from my childhood with a broken ass box from the creators of Resident Evil, Dino Crisis. It was Resident Evil with dinosaurs. I apologise for the glare as well. I remember it being not too bad. I remember the sequel being terrible. I wonder if the disc is still intact. The official Dino Crisis strategy guide. Yeah, the disc looks fine. I don't have a PlayStation 1 anymore. Actually no, I think I do. It's just very, very broken. Alright, well there's Dino Crisis. Here is a classic. God, there'll be people today who don't even know what the Dreamcast is, right? The original Shenmue, it's the American version because it's rated T for teen, not the way European games are rated, but I guess it was region free. I don't quite remember. But yeah, the original Shenmue. Shenmue 3 is apparently still happening. I like Shenmue 1. I remember not particularly caring about 2, from what I vaguely remember. The Shenmue Passport. I don't even remember what that part's for. Maybe it's for some kind of online? Is it for online? I have no idea. I don't remember. Yeah, it's for the web browser. Okay, so it's the online stuff. But there is a classic right there. I think I still have my Dreamcast. That hasn't been found yet, but it's got to be in there in the attic somewhere. Next, we have Brave Fencer Musashi, which is an import I had to get for the PlayStation 1. As far as I'm aware, it was definitely never released in Europe back when I got this. To my knowledge, it was never released on PSN either. Back when Square Enix was known as Squaresoft, it came with a demo of Final Fantasy VIII, which was the primary reason I bought it, believe it or not. But Brave Fencer Musashi actually turned out to be a pretty okay... Oh, I've got cheat codes. Cheat codes. I don't remember, they might be passwords actually. Yeah, it turned out to be an okay game. I was stuck on the last boss of Brave Fencer Musashi for ages because I didn't know how to kill him. And then, thankfully, the age of like checking for hints and tips online came around, and I was able to find out how to beat him there. This is another Dreamcast game, Resident Evil Code Veronica. It was eventually remade and re-released on, I don't remember what consoles. This is also the American version, rated M for mature. Is that All Might in the left? Capcom Edge? What even is that? I guess they used to do a loyalty thing. Is this 2 discs? This is 2 discs. Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's a pretty good one. I quite like it as a Resident Evil game. Back in the day. Actually, does this have a date on it? Bear with me 1 second. The year 2000. 2000 on the dot. That's 18 years ago. Jesus. Another ancient relic that I put many, many hours into on a 56k modem was the Dreamcast version of Phantasy Star Online, the original. There should be the version 2 in here somewhere as well, I think, because I definitely remember upgrading to the version 2. This is prior to like patching being a thing you could do over 56k, so they had to release disc versions of patches. Includes exclusive Sonic Adventure 2 playable demo, and I don't know what year this will be from. Can I see a date? A date is not jumping out at me. Oh yeah, year 2000 as well. Okay. I put many, many hours into that. Then we just have the straight up release of Final Fantasy VIII on PlayStation. Again, the American version, because I used a chipped console back then to be able to play imported games. Because I didn't want to wait, because back then, the difference between an American release and a European release could be up to half a year. Which was not very nice at all. And I didn't want to wait. So that is the original release of Final Fantasy VIII. It comes with a mini walkthrough. It was still when Squaresoft was Squaresoft rather than Square Enix. Oh, straight up just Final Fantasy IX as well. Again, exactly the same. Had to import it. 4 discs. Did not enjoy Final Fantasy IX. It's one of the weakest in the series in my opinion. But yep, back then I was well into my JRPGs. Speaking of which, from this side of the thing, Xenogears is my favourite JRPG of all time. It is now available on PSN after however many years, I think. I don't think they cleaned it up any, though, so it's got a lot of glitches. It's got very badly dubbed anime cutscenes, which you can see, well, kind of see up there. It's hard to play through again because it's so lengthy and so text heavy, but it is still one of the best Japanese RPGs ever made, and it remains my favourite. The original PlayStation 1 release of Tenchu Stealth Assassin. Now, the reason it has MA15 Plus on it despite being PAL, I remember this. My sister went on holiday to Australia to see family that we have living in Australia, and she brought me this back, and it's the same region, so it still played fine. So I believe that's why that is. I don't see anything else that specifically says on it Australia, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Hang on, let me read it. Yeah, it says Australia. That says Australia right there. So yeah, that is the Australian release of Tenchu Stealth Assassin. Another game I put tons of time into because I loved the Tenchu games. I even didn't mind Tenchu Z. What is this? The original Tomb Raider 2 starring Lara Croft from PlayStation 1. Eidos Interactive. What year is this from? I must know. 1997. Wow. I liked the Tomb Raider games. I liked them a lot when I was younger. Oh, in fact, Tomb Raider 3, Adventures of Lara Croft. How many years after 2 was this? This was 98 and the 2 was 95. Don't remember liking this one as much. Oop. Is this another cheat code thing I've got in here? Weapon. Oh, look there. That's the cheat code to get all the weapons unlocked. That's what you had to do back then. You had to write them down. And next, this is a weird one. I don't even fully remember this. Dragon Ball Final Bout on the PlayStation. This is a Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Z themed fighting game for the PS1. I remember not putting a lot of time into it because it's really, really bad. The most powerful warriors are back in a game with three 3D mode. That's what that says. You see that? The most powerful warriors are back in a game with 3 3D modes. What does that even mean? It's from 1997 and I remember it being terrible. The original Final Fantasy VII release, this is just the PAL release. Also it's cracked because I specifically remember a friend sitting on my box and breaking it. But that is the release. I think one of these discs is buggered if I remember rightly. My disc 2 got a scratch on it or something. Because I remember struggling to get past the snow bit with the game constantly crashing. This belongs to my sister, not me. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. I specifically remember her buying this, but it's a good game. I remember quite enjoying it. I don't remember quite fully how it plays, I just remember it being not too bad. And also having a very catchy intro music theme. Another game that I highly recommend, Parasite Eve 1, which came with a demo of Brave Fencer Musashi. I think it might just be videos actually, of Xenogears, Bushido Blade 2, Brave Fencer Musashi, and Final Fantasy 8. Or 9, 5, 6, 7, no that is 8. Parasite Eve is a really good game. Parasite Eve 2 was and then after that don't touch them. But the original was basically just a, as it says, a cinematic RPG. It was just an interactive movie and it was really fun. One of the best RPGs ever made and one of the few good things Konami has ever done. Suikoden 2 is a close second after Xenogears for my favourite RPG of all time. I wish I could play it for YouTube and Twitch and whatnot, but Konami are bastards. This is the American release. It is available now on PSN. Again, it had a very dodgy translation and there's also some bugs that carried over that were never fixed. But it remains a fantastic RPG. Very compelling story, very mature story, and very addictive gameplay. What do we have here? The American release of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. You know, I'm into my Resident Evil games. Does this have a year on it? This is from 1999. I don't know when the European release was because again I couldn't wait, so I just got the American release. There's a lot more to go, so we'll speed up a little bit here. Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. Was this the 4th one? Well, we can go by the date actually. This is going to be like 2001 or something. No, this is 1999 as well, so this was the same year as Tomb Raider 3? Was it? Or maybe 1 year later, I've already forgotten. Another Tomb Raider game. Mega Man X6. If I remember rightly, I had all the Mega Man X games and I sold some of them because they were collector's editions. and I needed the money, unfortunately. And I think the reason I couldn't sell this one is the disc is broken. Oh, the box is broken for sure. Is this disc broken? Yep, disc. I don't know if you can quite see it, but the disc has got a massive crack in it. I don't know how that happened. That's the PAL release, Mega Man X6. Then we have the American release, another Konami game that actually was pretty good, Silent Hill 1, rated M for mature. If I remember rightly, whenever I had to play this at a friend's house, they didn't have a properly chipped PS1, so you had to play it in black and white. And this game is actually better in black and white, in my opinion. I think maybe they added a black and white mode eventually too. This is from 1999 as well. The Japanese release of Metal Gear Solid, which I played through in Japanese. It was playable other than the point where I wasn't sure which wall you were to blow up with C4. I remember having to look that up, but other than that, it was perfectly playable in Japanese. And I remember it still being enjoyable. It came with a thing about Suikoden 2. So that is the Japanese release, and to date, that is still the only version of Metal Gear Solid 1 I've played. I didn't play it in English. I watched it being played in English. Another American release, Vagrant Story, a Squaresoft RPG that has a very similar visual style to like Final Fantasy Tactics. I never took well to this one, honestly. It just didn't grab me, unfortunately. So I don't think it was very good. I tried recently replaying it because I remember buying it digitally. It wasn't very good. What is this? This is another one of my sister's games. This isn't mine. This is Final Fantasy X Part 2, which is for girls. So my sister played it. I don't know if she ever finished it. She probably did. I have never played it. So I don't have anything to say about that. That's probably the newest thing in here, honestly. So that's all from that side. What do we have here? Oh, this is a bunch of Dreamcast stuff. Okay, so that's what you needed to get online with the Dreamcast. This is a Dreamcast demo disc. Wacky Races. 3 playable demos. These are demos for... Oh, Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia was an excellent RPG. Confidential Mission, Daytona USA 2001. Code Veronica, massive playable demo for Capcom survival horror game. Tony Hawk, skateboarding. Alright, so that was just a bunch of demo discs. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to knock the camera. That's all from there. Final pile, as I knock over some of my own pile there. Hang on, there we are. As I knock the camera again. It is a PSI 2 demo disc. What has this got on it? PS1, Spyro Year of the Dragon, Dino Crisis 2, so it had a demo of that. What is this? Playable demo, Wild Wild Racing, FIFA 2001, SSX Snowboarding. I remember liking SSX Snowboarding. The welcome pack for PlayStation 2, so this is kind of getting a bit more modern now. Well, relatively speaking. This is definitely not a legal copy of whatever this Dreamcast game is. Urban Chaos? Yep, this is definitely an illegal copy. I don't remember this game at all. This one I remember well. PlayStation, Vigilante 8 Second Offense. Vigilante 8 and Vigilante 8 Second Offense from Activision. Played a bunch of it. It was basically Twisted Metal with different characters in a different franchise and legally distinct. The future of blowing expletive symbols up is here. What year was this from? Let's see if we can see a date. 1999 as well. 1999 was a good year for games. A pre-owned copy of Syndicate Wars for PlayStation, which I bought for £12.99, which is a rip-off if you ask me, but Syndicate Wars is pretty fun. This is an old-ass game. Where is this from? This is from 1997. I remember buying this on holiday at a caravan park with my mother. Ah, and finally, there we go. There's a Dreamcast Phantasy Star Online version 2. So this was the updated version of the first thing we looked at. It came with the 3.0 Dream Key, which is the third version of the key you needed to play online with the Dreamcast. I think I might have other games sitting around somewhere, but that is a collection of games from my childhood. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at them. And as I say, there's a massive box of Pokemon memorabilia from the 90s and early 2000s that are still to get to me. When it does, I'll probably do a video on that as well. I hope you enjoyed this little look though. And until next time, ta-ta for now.